We're in the building where you get your visa extended and immigration and all that stuff. And it's just a very, very large building. Thought I would just make a quick video of the video.
Spin it around, then come back.
A lot of wasted space here in the middle. Wonder what wacky thing Katie's gonna be doing.
I'm not doing anything wacky. No. So we went to the place that Lonely Planet, our guidebook, said to go to get your visa extended.
Which was printed in July of 2009, so it's very recent.
It's very, very recent, so we figured we're good. We get there, turns out that on September 28th of 2009, they decided to move that whole immigration division to an hour away. So the lady told us you can get a taxi, it'll probably be 250 baht, which, regardless, let's not even talk about the money.
That's a guesstimation, because the meter, and
there could be
if there's traffic, it can turn into God knows what. It's a random guess.
Taxis are the scariest thing here, because you don't want to get in a taxi and then end up paying more than you would from another means of transportation because you got stuck in traffic. And so anyways, we decided that we would take a motorcycle taxi to the metro, and then the metro would take us to the train station. And the train station, there's an exit that's very close to the building that we're in now.
Which then we would take a taxi a short distance to get here.
Or a walk, whatever. So we get on the train, we've made it that far. For 8 baht, we're driving to Laxi train station. The train stops at a place. We're not sure if we're where we're supposed to be.
There's no signs.
We ask around. I go up to a guy that works on the train. He says it's another 2 stops. And he tells me that he'll look at me and let me know when we get to Laxi. So we're sitting on the train, we stop at one stop, and Eric and I are just sitting there talking. And then all of a sudden the sign for Laxi goes by. So I look up at the guy, he's not even bothering to do anything. I mean, the train's already started moving, there's nothing that we can do except for go to the next station. So we get to the next station, I walk by the guy that was supposed to tell me where we were, he goes, "Oh, Laxi." Alright, fuck that guy. I'm still angry at that guy. So then we get off at the further train station. We have to ask the taxi driver to take us where we want to go. He starts going in a direction, and then we get all of our words right, and he figures out where we really want to go, and he makes a U-turn, and we travel up here. I would say we traveled for an hour and 50 minutes from the moment that we stepped in the place that our guidebook told us to go to the place where they have put everything that is where it is now. Getting our visa extended was also interesting. It was lunchtime. They go to lunch from 12 till 1, and this is serious. They're not going to be there at 1 o'clock. The doors open and everybody flooded in. You go in, you get a form, a TM7 form, and you fill that out. It's a jumble of shit. I mean, like, they want you to write the date, but on one line it says the date, and then the next line it says the month and year, so it's a little confusing, but they have in front of you, they have examples. Like, people have filled it out before, so you're kind of looking at someone else's example, not knowing if they're filling it out the same way you're supposed to be filling it out.
But some of it's in Thai, some of it's in Chinese, and some of it's in Roman script.
So yeah, it's a little confusing, but there is an attendant there that helps you figure out what you need. I did have to ask her 3 or 4 questions to figure out that I had the right thing written down, and then I had her look over my sheet to tell me that I was good to go up there, because there's a sign that says any incomplete forms, their number will be disregarded. Meaning that if you go pick up a number and your sheet is not filled out properly, you're just gonna have to start over. So then from there we walk into another room, we hand them our form, our copy of our passport and our visa, and there's one other thing.
Picture.
And we had to glue, keep in mind, there was gluing involved on this form, that we had to glue our photo to it. So we go into this other room, I show this lady all this stuff, she makes sure that everything's filled out correctly, and she gives me a green laminated sheet of paper that says J11 on it. So I sit there and I wait, and we're trying to figure out how this works, because from what we can see, there's an LED that says 26 on it. And I mean, I'm number 11, so What's 26 got to do with 11?
Like we're waiting in like a queue, like at the DMV, sort of.
Yeah, it's DMV with chairs and cubicles. So we turn to the people next to us. We ask them, do you have any idea what's going on? They say that they don't know what's going on, but we watch these people leave a room, and the people we had just talked to immediately rush in there. So we're like, all right, fuck it. If they're just going to rush in, we're going to rush in too. So when they stood up to leave, we rushed in, and then we noticed that on the desk inside that cubicle, only viewable to the people that are in this range, when there's chairs everywhere, you can see the number that they're on, and that number says 7. So we didn't go in because we're not 8. So another guy goes in, she changes the number to 8. Then another lady goes in, then another lady goes in, and you keep them with the numbers there, that's 9 and 10, I'm 11, but it still says 8 on the thing. So I'm sitting here confused, but once that lady leaves, I'm like, fuck it, I'm 11, it's my turn. So I went in there and I had to write my telephone number down, and this lady just gawked at her friends and talked for like 3 minutes, and then she finally realized I was sitting there, I don't know. So she took my money, gave me my change, stamped a whole bunch of stuff, and then Eric came in and he did all the stuff that he needed to do.
I was 12.
Yeah, he's number 12. We sat there talking with 14, and when we came out from handing that lady all of our stuff, she took our passport and they went back into operations. I don't know what goes on back there, but they gave us another laminated card that was yellow and then said corresponding numbers to the numbers we had before, 11 and 12, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so then the number box that said 26, now you pay attention to the number box that says 26, because it went back to 1 while we were sitting.
This one's
And
placed so everybody can see it.
This one is placed so that everyone can see it, and it's going really slow. So we sit there and talk for maybe like a half an hour to number 14, and number 14 notices that it's on 8. No, I was number 9.
Yeah, it didn't correspond.
Yeah, it didn't correspond, sorry. But anyways, it finally turns to number 9, and I walk into the room, they hand me my passport, and it has a blue sheet of paper in it, which is my receipt for my mega monies that I paid for this extension, and that's how you get your visa extended for 30 days. Now we gotta figure out how to get home.
Which is going to involve a train ride and a taxi and a metro, probably.
So, again,
And this all started at what time?
We got to the first building at 10:50.
And what time is it now?
It's 3:58.
That's really not that bad.
It's not bad. You know, and in some cases, some people would think that you'd actually sit in the office for that long.
Yeah.
At least we had an adventure. All right.